Welcome to another episode of the Strange Motion Way podcast. I am your host, Tim Strange. I'm here with the still healing from her BMX accident, my bruised and beaten co-host.
Carrie Strange.
Beaten's not the right word to use.
No. Battered? Not even battered.
Ground magnet.
There
We'll call
you
you
go.
a ground magnet.
There you go.
This week, one of our good friends that both of us get to work with at different events around the country. I get to work with him at Good Guys events, announcing and Hemmings. And Carrie gets to see him at some Motor Trend events and Hot Rod Powertour.
Yep.
A lot of people know him as the main stage guy, the entertainer, as you will, for the live show every day at the main stage, the Hot Rod Powertour.
And the guy that drives his 55 everywhere he goes.
Hashtag I drive a 55, drives it all over the country. We're going to talk about that. It's his only vehicle that he owns, which is super rad. He's also been part of The Price is Right, Saved by the Bell, college years, and we learned some Baywatch and Baywatch nights, along with some other stuff and TV commercials and everything. So actor, announcer, we'll just call him entertainer and get his head really big here, Jeff Thisted.
Hey welders, ready to upgrade your gear and save some serious dough in the process? The Miller Build with Blue Savings and Rebate Program has you covered. Find amazing deals and cashback rebates on a wide range of Miller products, from welders to plasma cutters and everything in between, all backed by our 3-year warranty. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. Take advantage of the Miller Build with Blue program now. Visit us online or stop by your nearest Miller distributor today to start saving.
So here we are. We got the Strange Motion Way podcast coming here this week. We got slightly bruised and beat up Carrie still sitting here beside us from her bicycle racing accident. And this week... She's alive, but in pain, so she might not make it through the whole podcast. Her walker is right there. So this week we have Jeff Thisted. He is an announcer that I get to work with at a bunch of Good Guys events and Hemmings events. He's also an actor. He's been in a bunch of commercials. We'll talk about that. And something really cool, he was on some episodes of Saved by the Bell college years. And he was behind the scenes of The Price is Right. We're going to talk about that. He's had a great career. And now he drives around the country in his 55 two-door handyman, not a Nomad, wagon. His Instagram and social media hashtag is hashtag I drive a 55. He's, I want to say, a pretty accomplished photographer because you shoot some amazing pictures on the road. You've done a coffee table book with all your travels.
Thank you.
And, of course, this week when it goes live, he is the stage guy for many, many years of the guy that entertains the crowd and the masses all week, every day on the Hot Rod Powertour. So this episode is going to go live in the middle of the week on Wednesday when he is on the Hot Rod Powertour this week. So welcome to the Strange Motion Way, Jeff Thisted.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. Where are we going to be on Wednesday? I know we start in Bowling Green, Kentucky.
We're going to be in Louisville on Wednesday. Louisville,
Kentucky. No, okay.
Yep.
Because then we go to Nashville, then Louisville.
Day. There's no activities going on. It's just a car show.
No racing that day?
No racing that day. So everybody will get to sit back and listen to our wonderful
Awesome.
podcast.
For me, I know you're a Hallmark and a Christmas person. And for me, the Hot Rod Power Tour is the most wonderful time of the year. And you always know it's not Jeff Christmas is, but I love the Power Tour.
Yeah, and you got your people there. Like,
yeah.
We'll probably jump around a little bit, but as we're talking about Power Tour, like, that's what I think is cool. Like, there's people, they get there early when the venue opens at noon every day and get their chairs in the front so they can just hear your velvety voice right up close. But you also do trivia and giveaways, so they want to do all that stuff all week.
Well, they set up chairs. They usually leave so they don't have to hear me all day. They set up the chairs, and then they're ready for the giveaways.
Well, the good thing, I don't know, maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing, but some statistics behind the scenes is we have a very large group of new people this year.
It looks
we
like
have
it.
a new crowd to entertain or
Dodge.
Annoy.
Or dodge fruit throwing at you.
Yes.
No,
Hey,
that'd be awesome.
that's one of the joys of it, though, is that my first year in Columbus with Tim at another event, the Good Guys, we start talking about John Deere tractors, and we got the note that some guy's going to kill you if you don't stop talking about your tractors. And
Yeah, he was mad. Yeah, it's okay.
Why?
Get over it.
So okay, let's go back in time a little bit.
Oh, jeez.
Some of your stuff as a kid, were you around hot rods or cars? Anybody in your family? Or are you the black sheep of the family? Was your dad, uncle, relative, somebody into cars?
That look you get when you find I'm my family's cousin Eddie. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Okay. No one's into cars but me. My nephew is. God bless my little buddy Drew. He loves cars. But otherwise, my parents had a '71 VW Super Beetle, and we were driving through Garden of the Gods down in Colorado Springs, and it was all of a sudden these Corvettes started going the other way, the Corvette Club, and it was like the Jim Morrison when an Indian a spirit entered his body. It was like the spirit of the Corvettes, and I've been cursed forever. And I think it was the 4th grade I got a subscription to Hot Rod magazine, and I've been a subscriber ever since. It's like I remember the Denim Machine.
Oh yeah,
yeah. You remember? You got the issues, and So
very cool. So, what was your first car you had, like in high school or whenever you got your first car? What was your first car?
The '71 VW Super Beetle. It was an orange bug. It had the McPherson struts up front, so I wanted to drop it like one of those California bugs, but you can't. You got to cut the what is it? The struts, and it's too much work. So,
and at that time, you were born and you were still living in Colorado then, right?
Yeah. So it was great in the snow. Rear engine, rear wheel drive. It was a perfect little first car. It was a manual. I drove that all through college, up and back to Fort Collins, and it was a hell of a little car.
See, bugs weren't very big where we grew up in Illinois because they rusted so bad. Like I had one buddy from Iowa, was a BMX buddy. He had a 60 bug with the cloth. I think it was a 60. My buddy Scott Clays, and it had the cloth slider top, and he'd come down to the BMX track, and his BMX race bike would be sticking out the roof. And I remember he didn't drive it there very often. He'd had a little mini truck he drove too, but yeah, he was about the only guy I knew that was into Volkswagens. There's a bunch of mini truckers and hot rodders and stuff that I grew up around. So when did you make your trek out to be a California boy?
In the 90s, early 90s.
So how old were you by then? Were you 50?
It's about 57 back when I moved to California. And I wanted to be America's favorite TV game show host, and there's no game shows in Colorado. So I went out west and started doing so. And my friend Jeff Warren. Okay, so I went to Colorado State University. A buddy of mine, Econo boy, Jeff Warner, went to CSU also. He was a year, behind me or something like that. He went out to LA and got his first gig was Econo Tune and Lube commercial, non-union. They paid him $100 flat, done for the day, and they played this commercial for years. And he got $100, and it was like he's been a Econo boy ever since. But his daughter was watching Saved by the Bell, the college years, and came across those episodes. And so he sent me those pictures. And I was bored, and I, like an idiot, posted them on social media. And then all of the good guys, and you, and all the big car guys. Oh, you're in the singlet and your lycra in the res. Yeah. So
was that your first Hollywood gig? Was that show?
I think the very first one was the Wonder Years.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Background. I don't even know if I could find myself in one of those. Yeah. But you can see me in. I think Independence Day. I'm in one of the war rooms with the general. And then I just looked at Mulholland Falls. I worked on. I think Nick Nolte was on. You can see part of if I was there in the background, I stood away from the camera. It's like you don't need to see me. Just as long as the check clears, it's all good.
So your first talking on screen was Saved by the Bell college years then?
No, it was Jag. Flash Message, sir. That TV show Jag.
Yeah.
So that
who was the good-looking lady on there? Catherine Bell or something like that?
Exactly. Look at you. Yeah.
She might be on my list.
Exactly. So I got my dad up to meet Catherine Bell, and she was very sweet, and hung out with my pop, and while my mom was bored senseless watching everybody hurry up and wait during that. But that was my I got my SAG card on Jag, and as I was leaving Paramount Studios, not Paramount, 20th Century Fox on Pico, I had my red Corvette. '69 convertible Corvette, and Donald P. Belisario, the executive producer. He did Magnum PI, Airwolf, all these shows. Pulls up next to me in his SL 600. Whose car is that, kid? It's mine. Come back tomorrow. We're using it as the star car on the show. Big old cigar, and drives off. Like, the next day, and they used that old Corvette for 10 years on that show Jag, and it was it made more money than I did for years.
Awesome.
How old were you at this time?
60, 63, 64.
No, seriously, how old were you? Right out of college, pretty much?
Yeah, my early 20s, something like that.
Okay. Yeah. I just like to put like a time frame with what people are doing and how young that they did stuff. And so after how many episodes on Saved by the Bell were you on?
I think just those two.
Okay.
So did you have an agent?
All those were pretty much extra and then just bumped up or whatever. I did have an agent. I still have a couple. So here
that
and
was
there.
one thing that was a no-no here in Tennessee land because it's like non-union state. If you mention agent, they wouldn't even like you'll be done immediately. We'll kick you right. We'll fire you today if you mention agent at that TV studio.
See, but that's the thing is that then I have to be the bad guy. So if anything wrong, I'm nice guy Jeff. It's like when during the autocross, they ask the rules and somebody comes up and complains, hey, I'm not that guy. I'm the nice guy in the microphone. So
yeah, we sent him to John.
Be nice to the spiky-haired lady at registration.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're the nice guys.
When we moved to Tennessee, I remember it was in August, and we were out hanging out in the pool, and Tim was working a lot at the studio, and I was bored. So I was looking on, oh shoot, what's that? Craigslist for like gigs of like just fun things to do to go out and meet people. So there was this country music video that was looking for extras, and it was in Columbia, which is just the next town over. So it was a Sunday afternoon that they were doing this video, and I told Tim, I'm like, I signed up for it, and they asked me to come. So I went, and I was hanging out in the bar with this country music video, and I had to, like, text Tim when I got there, because he's like, you're going to die, and you're going to be found in a river someplace. Like, this is not legit, but it was legit, and...
You seen yourself in the video
on
TV.
Yeah, I was in the video. I can't even remember the name of the song now, but...
And it took 15 hours to shoot your 3 seconds.
Oh, yeah, it was an all-day thing. Yeah. But it was cool to, like, you know, now that we, you know, have friends in the industry, we know how some of that stuff works, but, you know, it was just kind of cool. Like, that was my...
Oh, that's right. My friend's, he needs a car. Will you build him a car? You guys are building all those free cars, right?
Oh, yeah.
No, we don't do that.
No. Anyway, back to you.
You get messages, though, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then after what did you get into after the Saved by the Bell show? What did you do then?
I did a bunch of extra stuff all around the place. I did some Baywatch stuff for a while, and I worked at.
Did you run in slow motion
on the beach?
I never did, but I watched them run, and then Baywatch nights.
Oh.
I still remember. I can't believe some of this stuff is trapped in my head. David Hasselhoff. They were interviewing him there on the set about Baywatch Nights, and I remember the quote, they came up to my door with a dump truck full of money, and I couldn't refuse. So it's like, it was a crappy show, but his detective agency or something, but it's like, I'll never forget that quote. Dump truck full of money. Who would say no to that?
That's right. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Everybody has
so Baywatch, I worked up at the Playboy Mansion for a little while. And then
you're like a towel boy or what? Wait, you gotta just skim over it. What did you do at the Playboy? Were you like
a butler up there for a while, and then a friend of mine, remember not Saved by the Bell.
He's trying to change the subject really quick.
Remember Funhouse?
No.
It was a kids game or a game show for kids, but my buddy JD hosted it. And JD calls me. He's like, I got the perfect gig for you. And so I worked with him for a bit. He got another gig, and then Fremantle ended up. It was Pearson, now it's Fremantle, and Price is Right. And then, anyways, I worked on the Price is Right for not 10 years, but almost, with Barker his last years, and then Drew's first few years, and then.
What was your title there?
Production. First, I was just on the staff, and then I became a production coordinator. For a few years, I was the guy down. If you can believe this, I sat in one of there was 3 chairs downstairs, and it used to be Phil Rossi and Roger Dobkowitz. They would choose the contestants, and then they got very busy, and so they taught me how. So it was myself and Sylvia would be downstairs, and we interviewed 330 people before every show, and we chose the contestants who came on down on The Price is Right.
That's pretty cool.
And what was the criteria? Like, if you interviewed them, like, what was the, yes, we're going to choose this person, or no way that person?
I mean, obviously you wanted a good sense of humor, but you also wanted somebody that wasn't going to try to cuss on the screen, right? Yeah.
They can edit that out, and they kind of know it's whenever anybody asks me that question, if we're giving you a brand new car or a dishwasher, what are you going to give us on screen? So the show's been around for 30 years now, 40 or however many years it's been on. You know what they're looking for, and we don't want somebody who's a faker. It's like, what's your favorite game? Plinko. To me, you're done. I don't care about Plinko unless you're an awesome.
I like Plinko. It's the
yeah. There's no skill to that though. You just drop it and it goes, and yeah.
I wouldn't have said.
No.
But you never.
We used to watch that. You was excited to see somebody try to win a new car, but now like there's some comedian that says that I am now at the stage in my life why I understand why people were so excited to win a kitchen appliance. I would love a new dishwasher or a refrigerator, washer dryer. Yeah, I would be.
It's a new kitchen appliance from Kenmore.
Yeah, we're excited about that now. Yeah, and then there was a spot that you married one of the blonde beauties, didn't you?
Yes. And a little advice from your old Uncle Jeff: if you ever want a relationship to fail, propose on national television.
But she said yes on TV, right?
She did say yes. We did get married, and then we got divorced, and yeah, it was wonderful.
Yeah. Okay. That's all about that. I want to go back in time again. What do you have any? Again, this is a PG-13-ish podcast. Do you have any crazy stories that you've seen or had to clean up or escort somebody out when you were at the Playboy Mansion? See, this is new. I didn't know this about you, that you worked at the Playboy Mansion. So I'm excited.
I can tell. I did get sometimes when people ask me how I'm doing, I say never better. And on, I forget, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, Hef had poker night. And so Don Adams would come over, all these old school guys. And one of the regulars was Mel Torme, the Velvet Fog. And Mel, how you doing? Never better, Jeff, never better. It's like, can I use that? It's all yours. All yours, because nobody ever really cares how you're doing. So I heard never better. It's like, oh, I'm going to steal that. So I don't have to steal it. He gave me permission, but it's like,
cool.
So yeah. And then I'm proud. My pop was in the Air Force, and he subscribed to Playboy when I was a kid. And he and my mom actually, if you can believe this shit, they honeymooned at the Playboy Club in Jamaica.
Oh,
I'm not making this up. So I had a motorcycle accident back when I was in LA, and they came out to visit at one point. And I got my pop up into the grotto with Mrs. Hefner. I got him a tour of the mansion. So I feel my job as a good son, I feel like my mission was accomplished. So
yeah. He's like, I raised this boy right. I was waiting for
my mom was about. She's like, I'm not going up to that place, and I know my pop. If she didn't go, my pop wasn't going to go. It's like, Mom, they've got Picasso. They've got art. She was all in. I'm like, done.
Yeah. So, like the girls, I've seen videos allegedly that like they're wearing, bikinis and stuff. Since you were like the man eye candy for the ladies, did you have to wear like little tight shorts?
Thank goodness, no. We had black pants, white shirts, and they gave us the black vests up there. We looked like a bartender or
were they sleeveless? They were sleeveless shirts, I bet, though, weren't they?
You're right.
Were they?
No, they weren't.
Oh, okay. So I was expecting like a story is like, well, one time I was there and I started drinking with Bill Cosby, then I don't remember anything. That's what I was hoping for, a story like that. And I woke up in a weird place. So
all before the iPhone and all before the cameras. So I don't have any pictures up there. I met Noel Blanc. Remember Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck?
Yeah.
His son Mel was the guy. So Mrs. Hefner ended up buying one of his, a Chrysler 300H. And I think it was a 318 Hemi convertible, but it was Mel's old car. And Mrs. Hefner, we cruised around. Oh, it was. I got up to Noel's collection because of up there. So that was kind of neat. Yeah.
Very cool.
Good time.
Okay, so then what did you get into after Price is Right?
After Prices, I left there, and when Barker was retiring, we auditioned a bunch of people to host the show, and Todd Newton was one of them. And Todd worked on some GSN shows, and GSN had just, I don't know if there was a casting note, there was some sort, they're looking for game show hosts. So I'm like, Todd, buddy, I want to be a game. No, you don't want to have anything to do with them. You're here on Price. Like, I want to be a host. So anyways, I got a gig hosting 2 game shows for GSN, Quiz Nation 100 Winners. There were a couple other hosts as well, and I had a few nights a week. So that I did that until it got canceled, and then started doing. I saw there was some ad or something about. I started working, or I went to the auto show, not a car show like the Hot Rod, but like the Detroit Auto Show or LA
New car auto show.
New car auto show. So I went, and I auditioned, or I did a tape, and I ended up being a product specialist for Chevrolet for I don't know, a bunch of years. And then that intertwined with my very first power tour. And I remember Craig Shantz and Bob Phipps. They and John Kenner. I met all those guys from Chevy GM Performance who are like my hero. Yeah, so met them, and at the dinner after Clarence left me alone. You remember Clarence? He hosted the power tour. He brought me in. So Clarence, I'm the go-ahead guy. So Clarence would do the tour. And I'm up on stage from noon until whenever he shows up, and I don't know what to say. It's my first day. Oh, what the hell? There's no script. So, anyways, the Chevy cars start coming in. It's like, oh, here's a little Nova, and it's got the LTG 2-cylinder or 4-cylinder. And I read off every car and truck that came in, and I'm just trying to fill time, trying to keep my job. And unbeknownst to me, they loved it. So at the dinner at the end, I got thanks and So that was kind of cool. So that's went there from Power Tour, and then Power Tour kind of grew into. Or I met Ed Capon from he was at Good Guys, and Ed brought me into Good Guys with You, and then from the Power Tour, it's like the C10 Nationals. So I kind of got my own little niche, kind of like you.
So how many years will this be on Power Tour? How many years is Power Tour this year? It's 30th
anniversary.
How many years have you been the stage guy on Power Tour?
I think this is my 10th.
It probably has to be anyway. But I remember you.
FM3's been running it for 9.
And he's been there ever since. Yeah. And I've been on a few before. Yeah, at least 10 probably. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Right. In 30 years and 10 years from that, I've done a third of them.
Are you driving your 55 this year?
Yeah, 100%.
Last year, did you drive your 55?
I have the past. They used to not let me because what happens if you get struck by lightning and you need to
you break down.
And now it's reliable, so it's like, not that it wasn't before, but it's And besides, I'll have Pilot Transport, the official transporter of the Hot Rod Power Tour, just in case Brian can pick me up if I need to.
You have had that happen before.
You had to bring that up, didn't you?
Did.
Well, things happen. If you drive them, I was at an event this weekend.
Everybody has problems. That's what I want to get to. Is like everybody's like, well, what if this? What if that? Everybody has problems. Every car breaks down, whether it's new, old, whatever. There's going to have problems. So just fix it. As the year that Tim tried to back out on Power Tour when he was driving the panel truck when he was having problems, and he called me almost in tears. I'm just going home. And I said, no, you're not. We are not quitters. You're going to get it fixed, and you're going to get here.
My buddy Adam Harder came by. He always kind of ends up the tour, like one of the last to leave the hotel, and he stopped and pulled over. Took me 20 miles, and we got a fuel pump, put it in. We finished the rest of the tour. But this weekend, I was at an event in Alabama, and the appearance people was Newbern and Cotton. You know Newbern and Cotton. We've been friends with Cotton forever. Well, you were in a show. I didn't notice that. Yeah, that's how good my eyesight is.
Yeah.
But they were supposed to be there Friday and Saturday, and Cotton was driving on his way to pick up Newbern in his OBS Tahoe and broke down. Newbern had to go help him get his car back. Then they got in Newbern's 57 Bel Air and drove down. So they missed the day because they're real car people and was driving something instead of this. I just sissied out and drove her caddy down. I didn't even drive anything. So,
you said, it does happen. And it goes to that cliche. It's like, why? Because roadkill.
Yeah.
It's like it's become the hashtag. But it's like and my pop used to ask, why do you leave so early? It's like, I'm going to leave on Wednesday to get to the hotel on Sunday. If I can get 600 miles to Kansas City, the rest is gravy. Then I got 300 miles each day, not even that, and 300 miles a day. That's a breeze.
Which sometimes we're avid supporters of AAA because you use it once, it pays for itself. And that brings me up. You were in a AAA commercial, weren't you?
Yeah. The credit card. That was awesome.
That one's been fairly recent, the last few years. I've seen that a few times.
Yeah, they didn't renew it last year, but it went for like 5 or 6 or 7. It went for a bunch of years. It was kind of cool.
Yeah. Did you get $100 to do that, like your buddy did, just $100, and you had to see it for years, or did you get royalties after the fact? You get paid
It's
one
not
time.
a union. It's not a union gig, so I don't get residuals every time it plays. But my agent negotiated a good chunk of change for every year they re-upped it. It's like I get, it was all right.
Yeah. Cool.
It was all right. Yeah.
So the 55, it's a 2-door handyman wagon. Hashtag not a nomad.
Yep.
Hashtag I drive a 55. When did you get the car? Were you looking for that? I want a 55 2-door, or did you just right place, right time, or you wanted a wagon? How did all that start?
I wanted a wagon, and I initially wanted a Nomad. I initially thought, 2-doors are Nomads. They're not. I came to learn. So if I found it on eBay after I looked for, over 6 months. And then finally that one popped up, and we were going water skiing to Lake Nacimiento, where we don't get cell phone service. So when I got picked up by my buddies, we're heading up. It's like, all right, whatever the day was that the auction ended, I have to be on the skier's dock, because that's the one place we got Wi-Fi or cell phone reception, because that's when this auction ends. And one of our friends, he ripped his back open or pulled his back. So and we got to take him to the hospital. I told you I made him wait like 30 minutes.
Oh no!
I didn't win the auction, but I got the message afterwards that the winner didn't want it. So it's like
that means they were running it up on you. They were running it up on you. Yeah.
I paid whatever they were asking. Yeah, I paid I think 17 back then.
So
for the thing, and
why it's in my mind, you say water skiing. You water ski a lot, and don't you have like a nephew that's like a really good skier? Maybe not water skiing, but snow skier.
Snow ski.
Yeah, my niece Alex was. I know she was ranked in the world. She actually went out to. She did slope style, and now she just graduated from high school, and she's going to Duke. Oh. Yeah, so and then the middle niece Avery, and then the monkey boy, my nephew Drew. They're both ranked.
The monkey boy,
actually. Oh, he's a monkey. He climbs anything. He flips all over the place. They've got the trampoline of death in their backyard. One of those built-in Olympic trampolines that they see. Oh my God, I'm good for 3 jumps, and I'm sweating and out of breath. I'm gonna die, and they jump on it for hours.
Yeah. Okay, so when you got the 55, what was it? Was it done runnable? Was it that color and everything? This is stuff that I actually don't know all the story on the car.
All right, it was pretty much that color when I got it. That autumn bronze metallic, whatever it is. It had that interior before the TMI came in, and I got it with. It had a small block 350, air conditioning, power steering, and power front disc brakes. That's everything that I was looking for. But in addition, the those big ugly boxes on the firewall, the windshield, the wiper washer motor, that was already yanked off and hidden away. So I got that as an added bonus. I think it was in someone's collection and didn't get driven at all. It had a turbo 350 transmission, and then the first thing I did was drop in a 700 R4. Then I took that to Colorado and back, and then a Matson's, a big ass cooling module radiator, and and I still have that thing in there now.
Did you right from the start? Once you did those mods to it, did you instantly start driving it to a lot of events?
Yeah, like that's my goal, is to get it. The very first things I got, and I've got nothing to gain by lying to the spiky haired lady. First thing I did was a K&N air filter and an Optima red top battery. So it's like now I've got the Optima yellow top, and it's on the Optima digital 400 charger maintainer. So first thing I do to any car is the K&N and the Optima battery. Yeah. So got that, and then started driving it to events. Oh yeah, I changed.
So how many years ago was this? How long you had it?
Almost 15 years. Okay. 14, 15, something like that. A little while.
So how long did you drive it like that before? I know even last year there was big upgrades, and the year before, the last 2 years have been huge upgrades on it. So how long till?
Years. Yeah, so I was driving down Olympic Boulevard towards the Die Hard Tower, and it's like 35 miles an hour, but there are these like kind of dips in the road, and the thing bottomed out. So I replaced the leaf springs, then Bilstein shocks, and then I met the guys at CPP with their totally tubular upper and lower control arms and their big tank, and I just slowly upgraded and upgraded until, and in addition, I've been saving, and I spent all my money on a roadster shop chassis, and it was the best. It's just, it's a whole nother.
2 winters ago, you did the chassis, right?
Yes,
so you did,
last year.
You did an LS swap before you roadster shop chassis it, didn't you?
Yeah, 2019 or 18 or 19 was the LS, and then we took the LS engine and put that in the roadster shop chassis. But then I got rid of it was a Boneyard LQ4 that got a forged rotating assembly, so it's like a forged 408 with the 250 shot of juice that I never used, but it looked neat up there.
Yeah,
and just a Gearstar Pro 4L85 gear vendors overdrive. Ooh, why do you have so many overdrives? Because at 100 miles an hour, it's like at I think 2,700 RPMs.
Yeah,
theoretically that's math. We've never would do that except on a closed course in Mexico.
Yeah, I'm doing an OBS truck for myself. That's of course it's got overdrive in it already, and I want to put a gear vendors on top of it. We put gear vendors in a handful of cars, and our 54's got one. And everybody's like, "Why?" Same thing. Why do you want an overdrive on your overdrive? It's like because you could just cruise down the road and better gas mileage, easier on everything, lower revs, heat, all that stuff. I just want to do that. So
it's got, after the gear vendors, it's got a QA1 carbon fiber drive shaft just because it's carbon fiber and it's so cool. And it's like, so that was last year. And then this season, last year I talked to Whipple and Gandrid Chevrolet and Wagner, and it's an LSX 376 B15 with the Whipple on top. And in this day and age, it's got almost 800 horsepower. And
to tell everybody, after this, we were at a Good Guys event. I don't know where were we. So it was last fall. You drove it last summer with that motor, right? Or was that this spring?
Oh, this is April.
Yeah, we were at the Hemmings event together this year. We were at the Hemmings, so we haven't worked Good Guys together yet.
Exactly.
And you're like, I almost had to take your bro card away from you because you were like, oh, it's a little worse on gas mileage, and I'm like, but you have all this horsepower. Then you go, it's not that bad if I don't lean into it. But it's so fun to lean into it, you said. I remember that. It's like, yeah.
So the Kevin, who partially built it, Kevin asked me down in Delmar, I'm calling him, I'm coming back up. I need the tires put on, a nut and bolt once over, and then an oil change. He's like, have you floored it yet? No. And because I was scared. Second, there wasn't enough real estate in front of me to do it. And third, it had like not even 100 miles on it. So as I was leaving to go back up to Orange County Hot Rods, the freeway opened up and there was no one, and I let it.
You have to say allegedly, so you don't get in trouble.
Yeah,
allegedly.
Yeah, the thing gets up out of its own way pretty nicely now. So, but get this, I drove from here to the Bowtie Nationals at Bristol, Tennessee, and at one point with 773 horsepower, I got over 18 miles per gallon.
That's really good.
And just so everybody knows, from here is Colorado.
Colorado.
He's not just going across Tennessee. He's going from Colorado to the other side of Tennessee.
Yeah, so it's not Kansas flat roads. You're driving through hills and curves and all that stuff. So that's really
almost 8,000 feet right now. Yeah, we're like 8,000. So it's like, and so some of these people who are like, well, I've put through a few hundred miles to get ready. I've got since April, and the car's been sitting for 3 weeks, but since April, I've got 13 states and 5,300 miles.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how many miles have you put on that car total since you've owned it? Do you have any idea?
Way over 100,000, but I know over 100,000. But I've replaced the speedometer. First, when I got it, it didn't work, and then I had North Hollywood speedometer rebuild it. And that worked for a while, and then Redline Gauge Works have that nice little Shannon over there, the nice little digital thing. I had that, and then Hot Rod Powertour introduced me to Dakota Digital, and their RTX gauges are
we put them in everything. We love those.
Everything, they're the best. So I love that stuff.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, it's like easily because John Jackson, the photographer, not stock photographer, he drives his Mercedes Sprinter van that he RV everywhere. And I asked him this weekend at that event, he's got 360,000 or something like that. The motor went bad at like 340,000 or something like that. And
Amazing.
It's in kind of like the same amount of years, probably 8 years, maybe he's been driving that. But yeah, but
he drives a bunch. But when people say I drive a lot, thank you, I appreciate it. But Harley and Linda Alcox,
is that the T-Bucket people?
Yes.
Yeah.
500 and something thousand miles. And it's like, I got vintage air, and I've got a heater and air conditioner, and I've got windows. They don't have windows.
Yeah.
And sometimes they don't have fenders. They drive that thing in the snow with their comm system. With the
And some people don't know what a T-Bucket is. It's what I call an early hot rod. They were like 1918, 1923 is the body style. They're a little roadster thing with a tall roof, because you can almost see your legs sitting in it. The body is so short. A little bitty pickup bed, kind of, but a smaller version. The Munster Mobile was kind of that type of thing, but it was a lot bigger. And this thing
has one door on the passenger side, so Harley's got to climb through to the driver's side.
And they're not young, and they drive to all these events. Well, now, I don't remember them working for Good Guys last year, but they are this year.
Oh yeah, they're
He's there for setup and everything, and he's got this thing that he puts over it if it's going to rain at night. So because this motor and his stack injection sitting out there, and the big wide tires, and that's die hard. Like 1 year, Ed Capon, when he worked for Good Guys, now he works for Barrett Jackson. He was always the guy that put the tours together. He does the Barrett Jackson tours, and then they would always do the tour, and they drive usually whatever Good Guys giveaway car was. And Ed's a muscle car guy, third gen Camaro, Chevelles, Mustang. He's a muscle car guy. And the 1 year, the Good Guys giveaway car was a 32 Roadster, and he drove it from the headquarters then in Pleasanton out. I don't know I think they were done in Indy, but Des Moines, Columbus. Anyway, he drove it all out there, and he's like, "Man, I have earned my Roadster badge, like a merit badge for Boy Scouts." He goes, I have a lot more respect for those guys that have been driving Roadsters crisscrossing the country for all those years. He goes, I want a roof and roll up windows from here on out. I've done it once. I don't care to do that again in another, because I don't think it had a top on it. So it was a Roadster with no top, sitting out in the sun, getting beat up. Like, Gary Metters did that all the time, drove that little yellow Model A all over the place with the track nose on it. And Ed's just like, okay, I earned my merit badge. I'm out. He's like, yeah. So
you gotta respect it. Respect it.
Did it once, understand it. I got some respect from the old guys, and I don't want to do it again. But yeah, that was pretty cool.
So, where did the idea come from for the book, for the coffee table book?
Friends of mine kept on not yelling at me, or I got asked by a bunch of people, "Are you going to do it?" And it's like, no. And then I'm not a photographer, and friends, yes, you. Well, I'm not a trained. So, but I guess I got a good eye, and I got a camera or an iPhone, and I take some pictures. So I had enough pictures, and got bored. It was right before COVID, or anyways, got bored and put it together, and I ordered, I think it was 100 of them, and they sold. I can't believe they sold out.
That's awesome.
So I've been trying to find another publisher, but yeah, I made one of them for my pop. But yeah, I got pictures for probably 5 or 6 more. I just have to find a publisher to do it inexpensive enough, because otherwise it's unforgiving.
Yeah, you're always posting it. Jeff's again. I drive a 55 as his page, and it's a good follow because you're boogieing to and from events, but you got an extra day. You get off the freeway and you go the highway routes and see. It's like the Griswolds. Oh, we're going to take a picture of the 55 by the biggest ball of twine or the biggest mud ball or.
In Cocker City, Kansas, the world's largest ball of twine.
Yeah.
I just went there right before the Bowtie Nationals. I'm not making this up.
Wait, that's really a thing?
Oh, yeah. And I drove right by it like an idiot because there is, I want to say 70 or 71, a Monte Carlo. It's got a sunroof, white interior, and it's got one of those swivelly chairs on the front seat. I forgot about those. It's a work. So. Okay. That's the gas station across the street.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Wait, you just swiped big time right there.
That was horrible.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was bad. So here we go. And there
A little bit.
Up a
It's
little higher.
the world's largest ball of twine.
Oh,
There
it's
you
real.
go. You're
Yeah.
right. Awesome.
And where is that?
Kansas.
Cocker City, Kansas.
Okay.
And there's the mural, Cocker City, Kansas mural.
Yep.
So I went across the street and I'm taking a video of that Monte Carlo and the cool gas station. And I look back and there's a guy looking at eyeballing the 55s. Like, hey, step away from the wagon, old man. What the hell? I really like this interior. And it's a TMI interior. Here, sit down. No, I can't do that. I've got a 57 in half an hour. We're talking about cars. And I don't know if I sold him an interior, but I told him to call Ross over at TMI and get him set up. But yeah, making friends as fast as I can meet him in that damn car.
Yeah, when you drive something, even with custom paint on it, you can't go to a gas station quick. So much so, we used to build all these vehicles for SEMA, for the new OEMs. We get a new release vehicle. And our last one we did for Ford, we got a Transit Connect van, little minivan thing, and paint it all up. And we kind of did it BMX racing theme, bike rack on it, and had the shop name in the door, in the window, and all that. And finally, usually when the contract was up, we'd sell them and move on to something else. But we kept that. I really liked it. It was good parts hauling for the shop and everything. And finally, I had a little over 100,000 miles on it. Carrie's like, I think I want to sell the van and just get a plain car to drive. I'm like, what? She's like, sometimes I'm in a hurry. I don't want to talk to everybody's uncle and ask the paint code and all this stuff. So she got a black Cadillac. We tinted the window. She goes, you're not putting wheels on it. You're not putting graphics on it. You're not even putting a sticker in the window. Leave it alone. So she's like incognito now that she doesn't have to talk. But if she drives her Corvair, then there's, then she has to tell stories.
There's no Carrie Strange fan club sticker?
Nope. Not on that one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nope. I don't want the paparazzi. That's the thing. Is I want to be
fresh supply of those for next week?
Of course.
Okay, good. Making sure.
Have you got one of the purple ones yet?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Somebody tagged me on Facebook the other day that they were at an event here the last couple of weeks, and they took a picture of the purple one.
Power Tour West. You gave me one of the first ones you said.
Okay, perfect.
Yes. And stop making fun of her or chastising her for her stickers.
Yes.
I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a strange motion hat.
I'm wearing
now.
a strange motion hat, and I give out. It's the same thing. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I just don't have a fan club, I guess.
I don't really know if it's a fan club or like a haters club.
It's more of a movement, I think.
I think at this point, it's a movement.
It's a movement.
The first one I saw was at SEMA on Dassault's Camaro.
Yeah.
If you don't know what Mike Dassault's Camaro is, just Google Mike Dassault Camaro, and it's metal.
So allegedly, he might have won an event somewhere back in the day. So allegedly, the decal that was on the side of his car, instead of saying the name of the organization of the decal, if you look at it very closely on the T-shirt design for the next year, it actually says Carrie Strange Fan Club.
It does.
We'll get out of here.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
That's awesome.
So I asked her about that before. I don't know if we talked about that when I interviewed her one time, and it's like somebody showed up at an event with stickers. Somebody showed up with Carrie Strange Fan Club, Jimmy Day, which
Brian
is Carrie's.
Mason.
Oh, I thought they were Chad Reynolds too.
I thought Adam Hanna. No Adam?
Oh, nobody likes Adam.
No.
We love Adam. It was Cars and Cones. So Adam wasn't on Cars and Cones.
Oh, okay.
So it was Nordstrom's from out North Dakotas, the Dakotas. Okay. Yeah. So they made them, and it was Jimmy, Carrie, and Brian Mason.
And yours disappeared quickly.
Mine were gone.
So of course she's had to do multiple reorders now. Did they reorder any Jimmy Day ones?
No, I think they still have.
But there was. I know. I did see. Maybe the next year there were some Chad Reynolds ones too.
No,
I've seen
so
some
what
Chad
happened?
ones.
No, what happened with the Chad one was we were at LS Fest West, and poor Chad was having a bad day. He was in the tower, and drag racing just wasn't going the way it should be, and he was getting beat up, and Chad was getting emotional and mental, and Chelsea and I decided to make our own Chad Reynolds stickers.
Did you make them like with a Sharpie first?
Yeah, we did.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and we held up. I just seen that picture the other day, but there technically wasn't any stickers made. We just made up our own stickers for support for Chad because he was just having an emotional.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I did see some real legit ones got printed eventually, weren't they?
That's probably black market.
He probably printed his own because you print your own. Why wouldn't he?
Have.
Yeah, I'm sure.
He might have.
And what you just brought up, it's like, I love cars, and I know you guys love cars, and the cars are all cool, but it's like the people, the Hot Rod Powertour family, or the car family that I've got now is pretty. It's a pretty amazing thing.
Yeah, I was at this Battle in Bama event last weekend, and it's kind of a lot of trucks. It used to be just kind of a truck event only, but I've known all these truck guys, mini truckers for years. Some stay in mini trucks and sport trucks, move to C10s or move into a hot rod builders or whatever. But I've just known all these truck guys for a long time. And like some of these guys I haven't seen a handful of years. Like my buddy Carrie from Indy, I got to see him. He bought his old truck back that was built in like the 90s. And, I hugged him. And I'm announcing the awards in front of all these people, like over 2 hour award ceremony. They give so many awards out. And I told everybody, it was great seeing everybody. It was almost like a high school reunion here. Some of these guys I haven't seen for a while. And I go, yep, I hugged a lot of dudes this weekend. A lot of dudes I hugged. And some of them got awards, and I'd be like, yep, I hugged that dude this weekend. And it's pretty cool.
What I am getting a lot of slack for my accident last weekend and the fact that Power Tour is in a few days. And I probably should not be going, but it breaks my heart not to be there. Like, I can't not be at the 30th. I can't not, like...
So her plan is kind of... she wants to be
just for you.
No.
Just for you.
It's been one of those things. Like, we're at a point now where I love this event. It's not my favorite event. We've got another one that's my favorite because it's smaller. But I have people that, like, volunteer to work registration. They volunteer to come, and they work, like, they were at Atlanta last year, or I have a lady that, the Memphis year, she said, I can either stand in this line, or I can come and help. She's been volunteering registration ever since.
And me, you can't pay me enough to work registration again.
No.
You can't.
But it's just like,
to do with that.
These people are, like, they're my family. And I can't imagine, like, there's a few, like, just with every family, there's a few that are the black sheep and shouldn't be in the family.
Like Cousin Eddie.
Yeah, exactly. But they're my family, and I can't imagine the 30th anniversary happening without me. I
can't either. I'm glad as long as the doctor's giving you the okay.
Well, conveniently, there's no follow-up doctor appointment between now and then, not till after. So there's no doctor that's going to tell her no. And, like, in our world, like, we'll watch, like, a movie together or, like, a Lifetime movie, and I'll go, oh, this movie is a bunch of crap. This is very unbelievable. She's like, what? I go, because that husband just said something, and the wife did it. That don't happen in our world. So she was telling me she was going to go for the first 2 days at Bowling Green and then go to day 2 in Nashville. I'd be home. I'll go get her, see her in Nashville, and bring her home. Well,
Which
today,
that might happen.
She might be in too much pain because she'll be close to home then. But I heard her tell Jimmy today on a conference call, well, I'm planning on doing the whole thing. And
But
Jimmy was like, what? He goes, I'm not going to tell you no, or what did he say? Like, he would like to have you,
out of it,
but he's the boss. He can't say, you have to come because you can't do that when somebody's injured.
But here's the deal. Like, we've got it down to a science. Like, we have 2 RVs, and I can literally take 2 days off and literally, like, hang out in the RV just as well as I could hang out in my... Tim's going to be gone.
And it's not a hard as a... I mean, it's hard on moving every day, and everybody, and not only the people that drive it. I mean, we all see events at all these events on how... I'm going to say the people that complain at events have never even helped put on a bake sale.
Yeah.
Because people don't even know how hard it is to get porta potties, to get fencing, to get security, EMTs, golf carts. People have no idea how hard that really is.
That's
her harder event on her is the Holly events. The LS Fest are really difficult.
I couldn't do an LS Fest next week. No way.
And that's why these social media things, and some of these people, the events, they should do more. And it's like, you come out here and put it on. They work their asses off, and
are we still good? What is that degree popping up there? Is it?
I don't know.
Are we okay?
We have, so And that's the thing. I know my limits. I'm not going to overdo it. If I get tired, I'm going to the RV. I'm going to rest. I'm going to listen to my body. I'm going to
Let
do
me know when you go to the RV.
I have pain pills still, so
Oh, even better. Okay, good.
if Carrie says something really weird to you, she was probably on pain medication.
She said some things to me in the last week, and I kind of looked at her, and she goes, "It's the pain pills." So
Yeah,
I think
know.
she's going to blame these pain pills for years, even when she's not taking pain pills. It's like,
No.
sorry, I've still got pain pills in my body.
Like, Janet Henderson brought me a scooter to the hospital.
The Bowling
she used
Green.
to work for the Bowling Green Visitors Bureau.
Yeah.
She's retired yet. Now she's going to work registration.
Is she really?
Yeah.
She's a pink Chevelle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she retired.
Pinkish, yeah, kind of, yeah.
So she's doing the whole power tour. She's got a platinum club
Oh, fantastic.
package. But yeah, she's
Can
going
we
to
get a bottle of Blanton's, maybe?
I don't drink. So
Well, Corn and I do.
Yeah, no. But we have a really good group of people. We've got a lot of our people have done power tour multiple times, and not going to say it's not going to be hard. It is going to be hard. There's long hours, but my registration people, they're the best.
Are aces.
They are. They're absolutely
aces.
Stan has been working power tour with me for I think 7 years, so I'm not worried. She actually filled in and went and did goodie bags for me this last weekend, because the weekend before power tour is always a weekend full of stuff and goodie bags. And as soon as she found out what happened, she drove 6 hours and took care of all the goodie bags all weekend long, drove back home. She's having eye surgery tomorrow, I think, and then flying in Thursday.
So
But
awesome.
normally our house is full of power tour registration packs, 5,000 registers. We have all that stuff scattered in the house. And Carrie keeps saying, I must have known something was going to happen. Of course, we've had Lily, our BMX girl, here for a few weeks helping do stuff. And the school auto program, she works with them, and they put the registration packets together with some help. But before the weekend that she raced and got hurt, she took everything to Bowling Green and put it in a storage garage. So all the registration packs are already there. That never happens. But of course, again, we had Lily and stuff like that here too. So she's like, I must have like a feeling that intuition or something that something was going to happen. I need to get that stuff up there.
A premonition.
Yeah.
Right.
But hanging out, the power tour people, they're like nobody else that we see at Good Guys or NSRA or Battle in the Bama or none of that. Because like I did help 1 year in registration. That's why I say I don't really want to do it again. I'll stand there and help direct people if I have to, but running me and technology doesn't go well, especially when there's a line of people waiting. But like, it means so much to these people that it really hit me that 1 year. It's like the mom and the dad and the grandpa were taking pictures of this 16-year-old kid signing in his very first time because he'd grown up coming to power tour. Well, it's his first time driving on the power tour, and they're recording it and taking pictures of him. It's like, oh, here little Jimmy going to college, and in his photo album, here's his wedding, here's his first power tour driving. It means that much to a lot of these people.
People schedule their vacations around it.
Oh, yeah. But
it's
you also
amazing.
see grown men cry if they don't get their plaque at the end. But it means so much to these people that some of these people don't go to the other shows that we go to. They do their local events. They do their local cruise-ins, their local car shows. Their big event every year, because it is very expensive to be on the road in your hot rod for that long, is they go out, they go power tour. No matter where it is, they're going to power tour.
And have you noticed that and those the stickers, the painless decals in the back? Wait, what? But those stickers, like anywhere you go, if I'm at cruising the coast in Mississippi, if you see another power tour, it's like, hey, you're part of the power, and they're all. You see a few of them in California, or a few of them coast to coast, but all of those stickers are.
Yeah, panel truck still got it on from the last one.
Let me just make a point to everyone
Uh-oh.
that sticker is not part of your package.
Oh, it's from
That is
Painless.
not what you paid for, and that is not owed to you. That is a gift that Painless provides.
They pay
out of their own pocket.
Yep.
And they give that to you as a nice gesture. So it's not expected. Like, that's part of the problem. If people just expect things.
Where's
like
my magnet?
magnets before.
Where's my
Yeah.
magnet?
Yeah. That's not owed to you. What is
At all.
owed to you is your credential and your sticker and your little cinch sack that gets filled with other stuff, but they don't have to do that. They
Yes.
choose to do that, but they choose to do that because they think that you're going to support them and buy products, build your car, do
And
things.
hopefully be nice.
Exactly. Yeah. So those people that I got an older gentleman last year that literally threatened me over one of those stickers. And I looked at him and I said, "Sir, are you really threatening me over a sticker?" And his buddy was with him. It was like I hit him on the head. He realized what I was saying. And it was just like, it's a sticker. Yes, they're nice to have. And unfortunately, things do run out, but it's not owed to you. It's not part of the package. It's great to have.
Yeah.
But
great to have. So if you're watching, head on over to Painless. Get one of those. And also give them $10, $20, $100. It's all tax write-off and deductible. 1099C3 or 501c3. That's what it is. Yeah. The Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Foundation. You'll get a long haul sticker. It's pink or white or red with the little breast cancer things on that. That's at Painless as well. And I heard Joe Parks is saying some guy's bringing out a cup car and is going to kind of auction off or take that money and give it to the Colonel as well. Auction off some rides in it. It's LS-ified. It's not. It doesn't have the old SBC in it, but it's yeah. And I think there's something else that I'm going to wait. And do you know who my co-host is?
I do.
I don't.
You?
It's not
Tim?
me. It's
No?
not, I don't know.
You want to tell him, Carrie?
Oh, is this a secret that you're waiting to?
I don't tell any. I don't ever.
When this airs, it's mid Power Tour, so we can record this. And, yeah.
So no, he's from the Motor Trend hit show. I think they're in season 7 or 8. Iron Resurrection. Shag.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Right? He's going to be there with us. And he's bringing his son, Zane. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, very cool.
Both of them on their first Power Tour.
Cool.
Yeah.
That'll be very cool. I thought maybe you were like in trouble and they were going to make you work with cotton all week.
Oh, right. Could you imagine?
Yeah. No, it'll be good. It'll be good.
I can't wait.
Yeah. I can't wait. I'm excited. I hope I make it to the end, but I don't know. I may not.
So I will see you on Sunday, and then I'll see you. You're coming to Nashville.
Now, yeah, you'll see.
At least whether I'm bringing her home or not, because it's just less than an hour away from the house. So I'll come up for just a little bit on Nashville stop anyway.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome.
Awesome. Well, yeah, we have talked. What did we miss out on? Because we really got on a rant on Power Tour, but it's because it's Power Tour week and we're excited. So. And
but yeah, we got some Hemmings events left, and this year we're not getting to work Columbus Good Guys together because Street Machine of the Years aren't doing their drive. So they're like, oh, we don't need 2 announcers. We're going to work with Scottsdale and 1 or 2 more Hemmings events, and I'll stop by and see you on the Power Tour. So I don't know. I'm going to touch on the 55 again one more time. I don't know if we emphasized that is your only car you own.
Yeah, it's my daily driver. Yeah.
You have no I got a pickup truck to get lumber. My dad has his Toyota for when I go to the airport, but somebody takes
a little Toyota Highlander, but otherwise the 55 is my car. That's
awesome.
That's extra cool points that not only you drive it, but it is your only vehicle as a 55 handyman wagon, roadster shop chassis, 5 spokes, and a killer LS motor. Yeah.
It's a running machine. This guy, I went to this little car show last weekend, and this guy's got his Lamborghini out there, and the Lamborghini Newport Beach, his expensive shirt. It's like, God, you drive it or trailer it? I wouldn't drive it from Newport. It's like, what are you? Come on. I drive mine. It's built to drive. And I've got the paint chips to
Other vehicles are okay too. Like I used to think I got it from Kenny Davis in Arkansas, but he said he got it from somebody else. And I said on the microphone this weekend, they don't ride the horses to the Kentucky Derby, but it would be pretty rad if somebody did ride their horse to the Kentucky Derby, right? And race it still. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I think Fast Finch is showing up. Brian Fast Finch, 9-time Baja 1000 winner. He and the BFG Ride-Along program. Yeah. There was, I think, 8 or 9 trucks last year in the Power Tour. They went stop to stop. Then they went to Cruising the Coast with him, and they're driving their Kentucky.
And they're racing hard racing them.
Speed on those things.
And like his second-gen Camaro, I asked him one time I interviewed him, how many miles does that thing have on it? And he was like, less than 50. And I was like, man, I figured you'd have 50,000 miles of autocross laps on that. But, then that kind of blows my mind. We get some of our regulars that come to autocross, good guys like Richard Giese and some of them guys, I think Brian Coney, they drive them to the event and they're not babying them on the autocross course. And there's a lot more force and abuse and wear and tear on stuff than you would think they do until you do a ride along. Then it's like, oh my God. And then they drive them home. So I would be so scared to race my car all weekend and drive it back home. But yeah, my hat's off to all those people that do that. So very
I'd
cool.
admire that. Yeah, I love that.
Absolutely.
So is there any new plans? What's the next upgrade? You've got a TMI interior, you've got a new chassis, you've got wheels, you had a little minor fender bender, you had it fixed and it's the same color. You said you always see it that same color. What else can you do to that thing? Just
I need to take
drive
it
it until you wear something out.
So
what?
Bowling Beast Bend Raceway at Bowling Green. I need to take it down the track and see what it'll do.
Okay.
And we had talked about maybe mini tubs in the back. I don't know. Maybe another Optima battery. So I don't know.
No. Bigger wheels would make it a little sketchy in some rainstorms that I'm sure you have to go through.
Oh yeah, it rains. It's good. Oh yeah, thank God for my windshield wipers. And then I got guys like I'm going to see Randy and Sydney Weaver's Customs, and all of his customs. He's like, dude, where's your windshield wipers? Just go so fast that the rain goes over you, Jeff. And it's like, it doesn't work like that, Randy. It doesn't. We're not in the real world.
They do drive a lot of their stuff on Power Tour, but not all the ones that they build. They don't do Power Tour, but you definitely are an Iron Man on the driving your 55. Yeah, you hear the bell. We have a cat with a bell that's running around back here. So
she needs food.
He doesn't like cats, does he? He's told me that.
That's the part of him that I have to shy away from.
Yeah.
But
Who doesn't like cats?
You don't.
You don't.
You're an animal person.
I'm more of a dog person, but is it? I call her Puss Puss. Cotton's cat loves me for some reason.
Lucky, isn't it? Isn't it Lucky or something like that?
No, there's Sky at the shop, and then the one at home. It's like I set my backpack down and I come back and it's sitting like on top of the backpack. Like,
cats know. They know if you don't like them,
they mess with you. Yeah.
Well, it started doing the thing with its claws into my leg.
Making biscuits.
They're making biscuits.
There you go. Yeah. So it's like and then the motor gets running and so what? It's like, let me pet your head first, because immediately it walks up and turns up. Here's my ass. It's like, no, warm me up to the ass. Let me get a little head scratch first.
That's what Axel does.
Yeah,
Axel likes to show his butt.
We have a kitten, and she lives on
Turbo and Axel.
Turbo and Axel.
Turbo and Axel.
Yeah, okay, I know the name.
And then when she's in her office, a lot of her conference calls, the cat likes to walk in front and show their butt and move on, and it's like, hello, and people on the conference call know the cat's names. And Yep.
That is funny.
So is there anything else that we missed that you think these fine folks want to hear about?
He's like, I know there's some embarrassing things that they don't know about. That's the look he has right now. He's like, well, they didn't ask me about this when I did that. And
I'm getting away with everything.
No.
I don't know. Not that I can think of, but what do I know?
So we've talked about Power Tour a lot. Other than Power Tour, what's your next favorite event?
Yeah.
Oh, geez, I don't even know. I love all the good guys. I love the cars of the good guys. Those, and you had mentioned Battle in Bama is now trucks. What's interesting to me about the truck guys is with car guys, well, you've got a Corvette, I don't like it. You got a Mustang, you've got a shiny car, I like patina. You've got a Rat Rod, I don't. All the truck guys, they don't care. If it's a truck, it's a truck. Come on in.
Yeah.
The C10 Nationals is there's now 3 of them this season. It's a badass show.
And then have you done one Bowtie Nationals yet? Have you done one?
We just did it in Bristol, not at the Motor Speedway, but at the Thunder Valley, the drag strip.
Oh, okay. And it's all one group there, and then you got one more of those, right? One more in Indianapolis of that.
Exactly. Yep. And then there's a Truck Fest at Atlanta, and I think the Bowtie Nationals are getting morphed or merged into the GM Invasion. So if it's any GM, a Buick, an Oldsmobile, any GM, come on down and party.
Awesome.
Yeah, they're going to run out of room doing that.
Yeah,
I agree.
That'll be a monster. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. So it's been cool to see that, because it started with the F-Body Nationals and now C10. It's cool to see them expand and grow. I love that.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good thing and a curse a lot of people, I've been going to Good Guy shows since before I had my driver's license, and custom camps events and SRA events. And everybody's like, these events aren't as good as they used to be in the 90s and early 2000s. Well, duh, because there was like 5 shows in my hand. 5, I reach over here. Like, there was Super Chevys, NSRA, KKOA, Good Guys. And I know I'm missing something else in there. I mean, Carlisle had events and some Ford groups, but the big ones, there wasn't that many. Now, where we live here by Nashville, almost every weekend in the summer, you could drive 7 to 8 hours in any way and have your pick of 3 national type of caliber events, whether it's the C10s or the bow tie or the Good Guys or NSRA or the Battle in Bama or
Holly.
Yeah, truck or the Holly events. I mean, there's so many, which that means the industry is really strong, but it kind of dilutes some of them.
Almost oversaturated. That's what I thought happened with the Carcraft Summer Nationals, or like Bowling Green. Every weekend there's something there. You got the Corvettes, you got because I love the Carcraft Summer Nationals.
Nashville Super Speedway is almost like there's probably 3 events every month up there. And I talk to my buddy Zane in Northern California all the time, and he's like, we just don't. He goes, we have all these other towns that have like 200-300 car shows, but he goes, we have some Pleasanton Good Guys events, and there's like a Bakersfield NSRA, and then of course they got the indoor stuff, the Sacramentos, the Pomonas and stuff. He goes, but we don't have on the West Coast. They don't have all those events like we do out here. And he, I guess Zane wasn't very good at geography in high school. But he's like, well, how far is Indy for you? It's like, it's 4.5 hours. Well, how far is Louisville? Oh, it's like 3 hours. Well, how far is Charlotte? Oh, it's 8 hours.
That's why we picked Nashville, though, because Nashville is so centrally located.
When we lived in Illinois, we stayed there longer because Des Moines, Kansas City, Detroit, 8 hours or less, we could get to all these big events. And luckily, Nashville, in this part of the country, we can get to a whole bunch 8 hours or less.
And so many people in California are like, if it's not, I can't go across the border to Arizona. Yeah, I
interviewed a guy this weekend. Where was he from? He was from Phoenix. There was a lot of Arizona truck guys that came out. I was interviewing this guy from Arizona, and he's like, yeah, man. He said, we've always wanted to go to this event, and we didn't. And they moved it here to Talladega. We thought, going to an iconic racetrack, and we've never been to the East Coast. I mean, you're still not on the East Coast. You're in Alabama. You're close to the Southern Ocean and Orange Beach, Alabama, but you're still a ways. You're still, 10, 12 hours from the East Coast of the water. And he's like, well, to us that live out there, anything past Vegas is East Coast. And I'm like, right? I guess so.
Yeah.
So I was making fun of it. He goes, nobody's ever questioned me on that before. So.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's all perspective.
So yes, when this goes uploaded online on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube, this will be the middle of the Power Tour. Jeff will be almost ready to lose his voice doing the main stage stuff. Luckily, they have some bands that take
Not this year.
No bands this year.
No
How many hours? How many hours does he have to be on the mic?
Jeff is going to talk a lot, but that's why he's got a co-host. They can bounce off each other.
Exactly, and we've got the big ass Optima stage with the
Megatron.
plasma screen in back.
Yeah.
Megatron will be there, so it'll be
Megatron doing?
We do.
Oh, is that copyrighted? Can we say that?
Probably.
Yeah.
Not.
From Megatron. Yes.
That, but we do anyway. So,
Send your invoices to
It'll be a little
FM3.
different. There's going to be some people that are going to be upset because we don't have the stage, but it's a new stage.
Is he announcing out of the Optima ring?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that. See, I'm not going all week, so I don't really pay attention. We do the podcast, so we talk for an hour each week. That's basically what we do.
We learn our news.
Yeah.
Oh, and see, I've got my.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
There you go. Yep. Nope. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good week. There's a lot going on. So
remember, Jeff, you've done me a solid in the years past, and Carrie doesn't always get to the event. If there's any merch, collectible stuff for Project X57, please think of me. So
I do.
You never know. Last year that was last year, right? When they debuted it, pulled the cover off. I got a little insider, so I drove down to Atlanta for the kickoff, watched them unveil that, pulled the cover off with the new gas tank motor in it, and I drove back home.
One of the things that I love about you is that you're a fan.
I am.
You go to the swap meets and you are a fan of this stuff. So you've got one of the pins, right? A Project X pin.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And stickers. I got some stickers on my desk and gave them to my dad because he's a Project X X guy too. When I got to drive Project X around the parking lot a couple times to help him load it up on Power Tour, there's two things in my things I've done that my dad says, "You finally made it, boy." It wasn't when I got in 2 Hall of Fames. It wasn't when I had a TV show. It wasn't when I married Carrie. It was I sent him a video, which I can't find that in my phone. It's been that long ago. I have pictures, but I can't find the video of me actually driving. I had my hands of me driving. I was allegedly just driving around the grounds, driving Project X. And my dad says, "You finally made it." The next one that he told me, because I do the MC and interviews at the Tri-5 Nationals, I got to be the first announcer when Jeff Lutz, which I think he's coming this year with his new one, when he first debuted the yellow 57, he debuted that at the Tri-5 Nationals. I was the first drag race announcer to announce that on the track, and I did an interview with him, and my dad says, "You finally made it then." Both yellow 57 things, Jeff Lutz, because my dad watches the TV show, the drag race show, and driving Project X. Is nothing else I've ever done made my dad proud except those two things.
And I think Lutz is the guy who legitimizes that show. He was the only name that I knew out of all those guys 10 years ago when they first started, and he's so chill.
Yeah, but if we paid attention, he had a black 57 before that. We paid attention. If you paid attention to drag cars and he was a Hot Rod Drag Week guy. He was some of them guys I didn't know till they were got on TV, but like him, he was a legit drag race fast guy already that I already kind of followed. So
in Hot Rod magazine, there was a picture of it. I think it was the Black Max, that Camaro, pulling a trailer in Phoenix traffic, sitting on the 10 freeway with cars. And I showed my dad. It's like, wait, what is this? It's a 3,000 horsepower drag car, and it's pulling a trailer in traffic. Exactly. It doesn't make sense. And
I remember one year, like when that started to be bigger of basically pro mods on the street for drag week. I remember I was laying in bed one night, and she's over there playing on her phone, and I'm watching videos laughing, giggling. She goes, "What are you laughing at?" I go, pro mods pulling trailers on the street. I remember saying that. It was just funny. Now it's just accepted. That's one event I've never done. I've never went. I'd like to help announce it. That's one little thing that me and my dad thought about doing once, but we probably won't ever do it. But I'd like to do drag week. Of course, not.
I just want to be a spectator.
Just hey, build a 12-second, 13-second car, even just to try to do it. I got buddies that do it. My buddy Dwayne Rule that I grew up with, he finally completed drag week last week. He made it
last year.
Last year, he made it and did it all. It took him a few years of new cars and bugs break down because you're racing them and driving them. And he completed it last year, and that was a big bucket list thing for him. Now he's kind of got a bigger motor and all that stuff in it. So yeah,
I love the Power Tour, and I think one of the guys was telling me, I don't know if it was Wes Allison, but one of the Motor Trend photographer guys, they're like, it's like the Power Tour, but with a bunch bigger engines, and there's a purpose. They race every day. It's like, ooh, you got me. That just sounds awesome. So it's on my list.
Yeah.
That, and then you guys have been to Bonneville. I've been there, but I've never been for Speed Week, and that's been on my list.
Drag your car on the salt. Yeah. Get a rental car or ride onto the salt. Park it on the road. You don't want the salt up underneath that car, man. You can never get it out.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it is. We
it's
love Bonneville.
Yeah, it's super cool. But one of the things that's going to be on Power Tour, I haven't told Tim about this yet. There's something going on, and I don't know all the details. You're going to know it before I am. Then you guys are all going to know it about that. But there's something going on with Hot Wheels.
Oh!
So you're going to have to keep your eye out for me, because especially Sunday and Monday, I will be at NCM when you guys are all at Beach Bend. So
I know
you know Tim and his Hot Wheels. So
but I'll be at NCM on Sunday because that's the kickoff dinner. So then Monday, So
the kickoff dinner is at the Corvette Museum. Yep. The actual registration is at the road course across the interstate.
And then the event's at the drag show.
Yep. And then the event, everybody's got to have their credentials first before they go out to Beach Bend. They get to come to NCM Motorsports Park.
Hot Wheels. Wow, very
to
cool.
get their credentials. But there's something going on with Hot Wheels. I don't know all the details yet.
Grab me something.
You gotta get him for me because I'll be in trouble.
Last year on Power Tour West, It wasn't Steve. Someone brought out these Tupperware bins with all this stuff. Like, hang on. So
Yeah.
I only FaceTimed my nieces, but I actually FaceTimed him. It's like, here, take your pick of whatever you want.
Yeah, you got me 2 little things out of there, I think. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
good.
Yep.
Yep.
So awesome. Well, we have been chatting now for an hour and a half. So
No way.
It says an hour and 12 minutes. We talked 15 minutes before we started recording.
Yeah, we did chat for a little while before. But is there
Thank you
anything
guys for
else?
having me on.
Yeah, anything else we need to say before we wrap up?
I don't think so. Just have a good power tour.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
If you see Carrie doing something stupid, taser. Just hit her with a taser gun.
I have my taser. I'm taking with me.
Yeah,
too.
and have a good week, and I'll stop and see you on Tuesday in Nashville.
You better. Awesome.
Okay.
I'll see you Sunday, and I'll see you Tuesday.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
See you guys on the Strange Motion Way podcast. Adios, amigos.
She should.
The Strange Motion Way podcast, brought to you by Royal Purple Synthetic Oils.
Royal Purple premium synthetic motor oils and high-performance chemicals have been designed to improve performance in all conditions and provide cleaner operation, better mileage, and decreased oil change frequency. That means less oil changes. With products available for your gasoline and diesel engines, Royal Purple is the obvious choice for your performance needs. Drive with Royal Purple, the synthetic expert. Thanks for listening to another great episode of the Strange Motion Way podcast. That was a great interview with Jeff Thisted.
It was really great to hear some of the things that we don't get to talk about when we're working, and just get to sit down and have a conversation.
And then coming up next week, we have custom car guru, legend, owner,
Icon.
Jack Walker. Jack Walker has owned and been a part of many awesome custom projects. He's also built some really cool clones of customs that have got damaged or missing. His cool thing that a lot of people know him, if they don't really know him super well, is for years, the Hirohata Merc was like locked up in hiding and never going to be seen by daylight again. So he commissioned and was involved in a Hirohata Merc clone and toured it around the whole country and probably different countries. And for many years before the real Hirohata Merc made the light of day again and got sold and all that stuff. It's in the Galpin collection. But Jack is just one of those guys, when you meet him, you become a buddy. He's like everybody's cool custom uncle. Wouldn't you say so, Carrie?
Absolutely. And he's a good looking guy, so the ladies like him.
I guess. And he loves the ladies.
He does love
allegedly.
the ladies. He's a ladies' man.
So tune in next week for custom legend Jack Walker.